gotta see. I gotta see if everything's working, and then I gotta put this, and then I gotta see if this is on. Hi, everybody. Look at this. Welcome. I'm in a hotel room in San Francisco, and I'm excited to be here. It's a good time. We're gonna have a show in a couple hours. I'm gonna have to bail immediately at the end of the show at 6 o'clock and go straight down to the lobby, and then from there, I'm just gone. After sound check, I just got to stay at the club because there's no quitsies, no take backsies. So hi everybody, chat room. Just so you know, for your guys' awareness, when I look there, I'm looking at you guys. When I look there, I'm looking at the clip. And when I'm looking this way, I'm looking into you. No, I'm that's where the camera is. So a couple things. One is, let me see if I can move this a little closer. There we go. It's hi, how are you? Yes, there's a funky lamp in the background. This is true. Oop. And this camera that's on top of my laptop is heavier than some of the others. So if it starts moving and I reach for it, don't be surprised. If I lurch for you in the middle of the show, that's my fault. That's on me. Don't get upset and don't get too excited. That's right. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. So I was just pulling up one clip that I wanted to do yesterday. Whoops, hold on. Because there's a bunch of new stuff. Obviously, the student loan stuff has triggered an entire panic attack. Biden's new numbers have freaked out. Like, what? They're just coming out of the woodwork. Let's see. I can't tell if one of these is actually yeah. So a lot of this has been over the last couple days has been about the student loan thing because they think it's just buying votes. Now an unpaid for tax break for people who don't need it. That's not. TYT praised Biden today and then tore down Democrats thereafter. Of course, it can't last. I'm just saying. They don't dare. Let me. I'm looking for one clip that I had before that we didn't get to do of our dear friend Jimmy Dork. Talking about the student loan bill, and if I have time for that one, that's the one I'll do at the tail end of the show today. But there's, yeah, okay, got it. This is I'll just show you guys because I want you to see the title of it. It's just so them have some crumbs, and this will help me reset my screen. It's a very important part of the whole thing, you know. Drag this down there. There you go. And then drag this part down here. Hold on. Sorry. It's always tricky. There you go. Have some crumbs. Yeah, but that's not what we're going to get to right away out of the gate. By the way, oops. Wow. It just looks like I'm loud. Am I super loud? Hold on. Maybe I don't have any filters on the vocal thing right now. Nope. I have the noise suppression on, but I don't need it right now, I don't think. So we'll turn that off. Close. Check, check, check. Is the sound okay? I feel like I'm super. It's like it's bursting. Hold on. Okay. I mean, I can never tell because it peaks. The meter goes red and it's not anywhere near being red. I don't understand it. It's madness. The whole thing is lunacy. OBS, bless your heart. You guys do great work. Somebody figure out and actually establish a genuine measurement for sound. Not just, that sounds loud. That sounds quiet. It's not going to do. All right. Okay. So meanwhile, before we get to that stuff, like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show in any way that you can. And if you can't at all, just sit back and enjoy the show as HAL Sparks, your guide through the madness that we all currently live in, continues to be right about everything. Now, if I may, Mr. Chairman, if I may, this harkens back, this week in particular, harkens back to election night. Some of you stayed up all night on election night with me, and it was beautiful. It was a great time. We had a lovely time, and many of you were worried. How is it going to work out? I said early on, I was like, it's going to be Biden-Harris. They're going to win, and they're going to get 306, and they're going to beat him by at least 3 million votes, higher than Hillary. And I was right, almost to the number. You're welcome. And some people were worried, and I was glad to be there to hold your hand through it. Now, there have been periods over the last couple of months when the naysayers and the doom sprayers have all been talking about how Biden's done and the Dems are like, we're going to lose the House, we're going to lose the Senate. And if you'll notice, all along I was going, don't get out over your skis. Don't get too excited. Things have a tendency to come around. And I was pointing towards why gas prices would start coming down. And I was pointing towards the popularity of certain programs. And I was pointing to the fact that the infrastructure bill was just starting to kick the jobs into high gear. I was right. Again and again. Now, I don't say that to brag, although it's worth bragging about. I do come on. But I also want you to know that I have not just been blowing smoke this whole time. That when I tell you about these things, when I tell you that there's, it's going to be okay, I mean it. And if it's not, I'll tell you. Just saying. I am bragging a little bit, but it's a good kind of a brag. It's a certainly not a humble brag, but, cut me some slack. Okay, so as we've gone through, especially the Biden's numbers and everybody's like, oh no, they're terrible. We're in so much trouble. Is he going to run? The Democrats aren't even sure if they're going to want him to run with blah, blah. All that shit's been going on. I've been, if you'll notice, just tapping the brakes. Just, not so fast. And I'll be goddamn if I'm not right. And boy, oh boy, is it pissing off all the right people. Now this week, the doors and the TYT's very, very mad. They're kicking the dog in the studio this week. They get off the air going, I know everything. Everything's exactly the way I want it to be. And then they cut and they're just kicking the cat out into the parking lot. And that's to be expected. Is the wonderful folks over at the 5 / Gutfeld tonight. It's very strange. I guess she's just on Gutfeld. Is that what it is? I can't tell the difference between the Gutfeld show and the 5. And quite frankly, I don't know why I should give a fuck. Like there's a difference. Who cares? It's brutally unfunny. It is lacking in all material worth. And yet, well, I guess, and that in and of itself makes it perfect for Fox News. Of course, it's the hit show of Fox News. Of course it is. So Dana Perino, she's having a rough time. Dana Perino, this is my beef. What's your beef with this is my beef with all the Biden comeback kid stories. Oh, it's so, really? You have I'm shocked, Dana. You have a beef with the fact that Biden's poll numbers are kicking ass. That's upsetting you in some ways. I never would have spotted that. I'm shocked, as is everybody here. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so this is finally a guest host who makes Greg look tall. Oh my God, is Dana Perino filling in? Oh man. Oh good Lord. This is gonna be horrifying. Oh no, they're just... Did they just basically do a version of... This is Red Eye.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to Perina with 2 exclamation points. As the queen of mid-morning, I'm thrilled to be hosting tonight, especially since this is obviously way past my bedtime. We begin the way all...
Let me know if I need to put on a noise filter so that the laughter and the applause doesn't overwhelm the talking. I mean, Ugh.
Those begin with a Fox News alert. We are reporting tonight on a missing person. 79-year-old Caucasian male identifies as who and occasionally calls others Jack. Last seen in Delaware, Kiowa Island, or maybe the basement. Wearing khakis, a button-down, dark aviators, and a mask dangling off his ear. And carrying the nuclear football. He answers to the name of the comeback kid and the big guy, a.k.a. your president, Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the hardest part, I think, for her to get out.
Also goes by Scranton Joe or Brandon. If you
All right, zing.
wanted his attention, just say, "Hey, who wants some ice cream?" And he'll come wandering around to your door.
Well, it beats the heck out of saying, "Hey, does anybody know who's this 16-year-old girl is and why her dad isn't around?" I mean, that's not just Trump. I mean, there's a myriad of people at Fox that would come running.
Searching for him, high and low. Mostly low, because he falls a lot. Strange,
Jesus Christ.
right? Considering just last week they told us that after a string of big wins, the president was on a roll, that his stretch of bad luck was behind him, that his poll numbers had hit rock bottom. And like a line of Parmesan cheese under Hunter's nose, there was nowhere to go but up.
So the new crime that Hunter Biden is accused of is snorting Parmesan cheese. I think in reference to the fact that he would have at one point he was carpet mining for crack and found some Parmesan cheese and would have snorted it. Gee, I don't know why Greg would let her have all these sweet jokes.
And that the Inflation Reduction Act was going to turn his presidency right around. I guess when your EKG flatlines twice a week, anything looks like a comeback. Look
Holy shit.
at these headlines right here. And
Yeah. I guess if you think things are going to turn around for you, then you're obviously demented. Here, let's look at these headlines that are pointing to a complete turnaround.
they've been hyping this all of August. Watch this.
Well, that's because they've been signing a bunch of bills all of August, dummy.
Yeah, don't look now, people, but all of a sudden, Sleepy Joe has himself a pretty fat stack of accomplishments.
This big thing on deal. It is a big deal.
This is huge, and I don't think people understand how big this is.
This has been an extraordinarily successful 2 years legislatively.
Big victory at the White House.
Yeah, it's such a big win for President Biden. He's actually interrupting his vacation and flying back to the White House today just for this bill signing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, literally. These are all true. Is this supposed to be a story about how the liberal media is protecting himself? Protecting
Well, the Inflation Reduction Act, it's in the books, and it's a book that no one is buying. Like The Plus by Greg Gutfeld.
Is that a real book? Dear God. That's a very Fox thing. By the way, you're allowed to shit talk any of your friends as long as they're in the room. The minute they leave the room, you're a bad friend. Did Dennis Miller write these? No. No one wrote these.
No one is buying that it will reduce inflation. The shamelessness from this White House. If we
Ugh, shameless. Almost as shameless as the writers on this show, I guess.
just change the name of a recession, if we can just convince them that despite the record high gas prices they're paying, inflation is actually 0%, we'll be fine. Well, the bill will raise taxes on people making as little as $10,000 a year in order to buy electric cars for families.
Most Americans, including those that face increased costs as a result of the bill. From an opinion piece at Fox Business, it's good. Always citing your own network is always a great way to bolster your argument.
And the media just clapped along and wrote their obedient comeback kid stories. I can't wait for the sequel, Return to the Basement. So, Brian.
Jesus Christ. I take it back. Now I know why he left.
Still clapping, but
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the opening monologue on the show is always this bad?
in his own basement. You know, between sobs and bites of DoorDash, he's already eaten 3 drivers. Speaking of eating, families are paying the highest prices in 40 years, and groceries and food, it's so expensive. And Biden is forgiving the student loan debt of soon-to-be wealthy doctors and lawyers.
Yes, that's who's being helped out. People who got federal loans and have $10,000 in Pell Grant debt or whatever. Meanwhile, by the way, doctors and lawyers, most of them are you're talking the neighborhood of like $125,000 in debt. They're getting about, 20, 15 shaved off their bill. But everybody else is, went to community college or a small university for 4 years, is getting most of their debt taken up. I mean, this is what they need you to think.
He's got plenty of both. And these are all symptoms of the same problem. The Latinx breakfast tacos, the gender issues, the paper straws, the border.
The paper straws. I'm glad that they're dealing with the heavy issues that Americans are dealing with. I mean, baby formula. Oh, that's not going to fly anymore. They're basically running out of. I mean, we're watching them run out of talking points. Now they're having to stack them it's like they're playing the hits. Remember this one? Remember this oldie but a goodie from last spring?
Migrants at a 4-star, $700 a night hotel in New York City. It's permeating all across.
Yeah, that was a stunt by the Texas government.
The nation, like monkeypox, sinking into our daily lives like an unsightly stain on America's national.
An unsightly stain.
Tablecloth. Democrats have let their narrowest segment of activists take leadership control of the party, and the Democrats have modeled their agenda after it.
I see. That's why Biden is passing a lot of centrist bipartisan bills that have been languishing during the divisive last decade.
Say to AOC within 2 years. And that's my beef with all the Biden comeback stories. Democrats joining other Democrats to pass a bill to spend money doubling the size of the IRS and giving money to green energy companies. That's not an accomplishment.
Dana, this is supposed to be a comedy monologue. This is the show. Never mind.
It doesn't do anything for the 93.
Oh. Is that is that the audio clipping problem that I always end up having with this nonsense? Hold on.
We're concerned about inflation. But that's Democrats' base now. Between 7 and 20% of the country that agrees on the furthest left nonsense. And the media that.
Then, if he's only appealing to 7 to 20% of the fucking populace, then why are his numbers going up? Hold on. May I show you this? Hold on. This is the part that I think lines up really well with this. I pushed this. I did this earlier, but I want to find the actual. Hold on. I gotta find the actual thing. 1 second. Oops. News. 1 second. Oh, where's the, hold on. I posted this earlier, but I don't want to go hold on. All right, here you go. This is why Dana Perino is so mad. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. This is what she's pissed about. Biden job rating rises to 44%, highest in a year. Up 6 points from July's record low. Rise in job approval rating is largely owed to independents. These are not 7 to 20% of the base. Let's see. Biden's pandemic response is only issue of 11 with majority approval. But after hitting a record low in July, President Joe Biden's approval rating is up 6 percentage points to 44%, his highest in a year. While this uptick represents a significant improvement on the heels of several policy successes, he still remains underwater overall, with 53% of Americans disapproving. By the way, Trump topped out at 44. 44 was the highest Trump ever got. Largely buoyed by political independents, who approvals arose from 31% to 40%. He's 7% bump in independence. Democrats 81%, Republicans 4%. I mean, honestly. First of all, if you're talking to 7 to 20% of the base, the hardliners, the most progressives, those are the Democrats that don't like him. This is the TYT crowd right here. The other end, the Democrats that aren't in this 81%. That's who that is. Democrats, independents, Republicans. Look at this tick. Now, I don't know, honest to God, why Democrats are even faltering in this thing. It seems strange to me, but whatever. Independents obviously dragged him down, and bringing them back up to a previous, from June 21. That is achievable, and they are going to go for it. It's not going to be by winning over the 7 to 21% of Democrats in this. And most, in this group, they even hung on during this period, February, March. They literally, this is who they're asking, and as soon as he got elected, and they're like, nah, fuck that guy. Those are the same folks. Here they are. November to December 21. Weird. All right. Anyway, so here's the Republicans, though. Biden had the highest he's ever had is 12%. He's at 4%. If he starts rallying some of those folks, which he's trying to do with the MAGA Republicans aren't representative. I don't have any respect for those, but I have respect for other Republicans. With that talk, which is what he's going to do, that'll bring back 10 to 15%.
Feels like they're solving a climate crisis that they're not really impacting at all. Pointless policy designed by the far left and then cheered on and validated by the far left. It's just another Dem self-licking ice cream cone.
It's a what?
So when the media inevitably sends reporters to truck stops and diners in middle America this fall to see how they got so much of the midterms wrong, the Democrats should consider sending a few staffers too. Now don't worry, staffers, you won't get hurt. Triggered, maybe. But that's exactly what you need. Have you seen that meme of the pawn shop star guy saying, well, the best I can do is? People are like, hey, we have the worst inflation in 40 years. Gas prices are $2 higher than they should be. The border is a mess. We're worried about Ukraine, Taiwan, and the Middle East. Our kids have been out of school for 2 years.
No, they haven't. The fuck are you talking about?
And are facing genuine challenges. And the left is like, well, best we can do is electric car tax credits, 87,000 more IRS agents, illegal student loan debt cancellation for Harvard.
Removing lead from the drinking water, creating an infrastructure project that's the biggest one since the 50s. Putting more Americans back to work. The CHIPS Act, for fuck's sake. We're going to have 9 multi-billion-dollar chip factories in the United States up and running by spring.
On identifying as Latinx. Oh, and by the way, I'm two-spirited, so if you criticize me, the other spirit will report you to Human Resources.
Two-spirit is not two-spirited. Two-spirited would mean you are overly spirited. And dumb. And a dumb person. You're dumb. You're big dumb Dana Perino. Dumb Perino. This is so weak.
And the poll results are in. No bump for the comeback kid. More like...
Nope, they aren't.
Dead cat bounce kid. Still, the media tries to put a good spin on thing. Here's Reuters. Biden approval rises to 41%, highest since early June. Biden approval rises to 40%, highest in 2 months. That's like saying your horse finished last, but hey, at least he finished.
No, it isn't, especially considering that he's within the margin of error for Trump's entire presidency.
Surgeon bragged he had a 41% approval rate. You'd take your operation elsewhere, even to Dr. Jill.
Okay. First of all, again, at least the surgeon had an approval rating of 98% at one point, and you might chalk it up to some bad Yelp reviews by people who hate him. Whereas Trump never got above 44. 45 never reached 45.
No matter what they try, though, these are the numbers that will keep the comeback kid from getting too far, like the shot collar they put in his underpants.
Huh? I honestly, these are so like, this is like sarcasm instead of having a sense of humor. That's what this is.
74% say the U.S. is headed in the wrong direction. What a comeback, huh?
Yeah, but not for the same reasons. Half of them think that it's headed in the wrong direction because Trump might never go to jail.
Since Bill de
Bring that up.
Blasio's run for Congress. The last time we saw this much disapproval, Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin. We'll explain it later, Kat. But the sour mood is not
I think that's a young joke or maybe an old joke. I don't know.
coming from Republicans, and despite the big comeback pronouncements, several Democrats, they are now distancing from the president.
It's Washington's fault. They set the rules, weakened our supply chain, and spiked inflation.
So when Obama's trade deal threatened jobs here, I voted against it. And I voted with Trump on trade. I don't answer to any political party.
I was the only Democrat to vote against trillions of dollars of President Biden's agenda.
I stood up to summon my own party and push to cut the gas tax and to hire more police officers.
I learned about public service.
Yeah, by the way, these are folks who are running in hazy districts, in you know, blue to like purplish districts. This is how they're gonna talk. At this point, the Republicans are panicking that these folks are actually using this messaging.
Not Washington.
And others are finding reasons to watch.
Also, by the way, voting against Obama on one thing and voting with Trump on another is not the same as saying, and I mean, they're tacking these together, but the idea is that I also voted against Biden when he didn't.
There tonight when they hear Biden is coming to town, which only makes them want to sniff it more. It's the least popular tour since Gutfeld joined the Chippendales. The comeback kid stories were already written in the can. The media loves that storyline when it's being said about a Democrat.
God damn, is this going on long or is it just me?
What say you, Joe?
No, I don't need any comeback. What are you talking about? I'm here, man. I don't need a comeback. I do things nobody else does. Did you ever try falling up a flight of stairs? Yeah. How about falling off a bike that's not moving? Try it. Do it. I got you, man. You know, I recovered from COVID like 40 times now.
Oh my God. This is so, all right. I thought at some point this was going to be a, did they ever throw to the rest of the people? I guess, yeah, here they go. There's something old like Keith Richards, Skip. This is so boring.
White House. It's where good common sense policy has gone to die. In lieu of
Jesus Christ.
Nations.
I'm so bored. I don't know how they do it. I'm very confused. This is just, I don't know why was everybody else not available?
And it leaves all of the rest of us in mourning, but just for 2 more years.
What?
Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's like Caitlyn Jenner. People used to call him father. Fox News contributor Jonathan Morris.
What? Oh, was he used to be a priest or something?
He's a tough act to follow because the audience is usually asleep. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie LaSalle. He's the smartest person ever to leave Texas for New York. Hosted Lawrence Jones Cross Country on Saturday nights, Lawrence Jones. And as the most prominent woman on late night TV, she inspired me when I was growing up. Fox News contributor, Kat Timpf. All right, Lawrence.
Oh God.
The media, they try to celebrate Joe. You saw that, like the ladies, they were saying this is huge, this is big. But do they not realize that he's making inflation worse?
No.
How? I mean, honest to God, there is nothing in this that would make quote unquote inflation worse. Even the people who are getting a break from their student loans, it's just money that they that they're gonna make that they don't have to put towards this. It's not gonna. The idea that somehow they're printing money, or the Fed's gonna turn on the money printer and get rid of, hand out $10,000, to people. Like, it's forgiveness of loans. If you don't have the debt anymore, you can't forgive it. It's up to a certain point. If you have $8,000 worth of debt loan, they don't forgive 8 of it and give you $2,000. This is weird.
I mean, it's quite sad. I love my
Yes, but enough about the monologue.
Cowboys. I root for them every time, even if I know they're going to end up losing. And I think that's where the media is right now, except for you have a whole group of people that are on the sidelines saying the president is heading the wrong direction, like just turn around. And you can.
I think he's making a football reference that he's running towards the wrong finish line, or he's running towards the wrong end zone, which would technically be in this particular, in our, dichotomous political landscape, that he would be going towards the Republican side of something. It's so stupid.
Presidency. I just don't think the commander-in-chief is listening. I think the only people that he's trying to please right now are the progressive. The problem is, it's not enough of them that are going to vote to get him across to another term. It's pretty sad.
He's not up this fall, dummy.
Maybe they should spend time in the diners like I do every single day, talking with people, go to the barbershops, America. I often say, when the white diners and the black barbershops are saying the same thing, we got a problem.
Or it could be that you only go to the places where they're going to reaffirm what you believe.
It's a good barometer. You need to patent that one.
Right.
Jamie, did you
Trademark.
hear about all of this up in Alaska?
Yeah, no, I'm just hearing all of this now. Yeah, like, am I living in an alternate universe? Like,
yes, you are.
The way they spin everything? You can't say gas prices are low if, like, they were too high to begin with, right? Like, I remember when I was married, my wife would always go, like, we got to buy this thing from Pier 1, like, it's 50% off. And I would go, yeah, but they also came up with the first price. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if that's a big deal. Yeah, but this comeback kit.
We don't know if that's a big deal. Fuck me.
Crazy. More like come back to life, kid. I was upset, though, because what we learned this week was that Biden did sign off on the FBI raid. I feel like that was widely reported. But in his defense, he thought he was signing for an Amazon package.
Oh, my God. Ugh.
It's like, ooh, a package for me. I hope it's something mushy I could eat.
I guess these are ageism jokes, or...
And the nuclear codes thing to me is such...
Oh, they got him in the teleprompter. So everybody goes, is that how the show works? Is that how Gutfeld's show work? Everybody gets it's a round table joke thing. You give them your stuff, and they put them in the teleprompter for you, so you know what your cue is to go hit those beats in a limited amount of time. Because it's good for the format. People like it.
Obviously, they changed the code. I did hear from a pretty good source that Biden's nuclear codes, it's 00005, because it's almost impossible to forget your Social Security number.
See, it's old. It's an old thing.
Kat, what do you think of the Democrats who are now trying to they vote with him like 100% of the time, but then they run ads for their election saying, I'm distancing from him?
Yeah, well, I mean, because he's also distancing from everyone. That's why I feel like
He is.
does feel like he's having a comeback every time we see him. Like, because we don't see him very often, so like... He's like, because he sets the bar for himself very, very low. So if he makes it up the stairs, we're like, that's incredible. Like, if he gets out of full set.
Good fucking Lord. Oh my God. I got maybe a minute more of this. I can't take it. This is brutal.
Because he sets the bar so low for himself.
Sets the bar so low for himself. You lunatic. He got us out of Afghanistan, passed an infrastructure bill, and then just allowed Medicare to cap the prices they pay for medicine. All stuff that Trump ran on doing and punted every 2 fucking weeks.
comeback if we actually know where he is.
I don't know what the fuck that is, by the way. Like, he gave a speech and it was on the air yesterday. He every time he signs something, he comes out and, like, I don't know where this whole, like, he disappeared idea is.
Jonathan, how are you?
Honestly,
How are you? Are you done? You know,
comfortable here? Are you uncomfortable?
No, like none of us should be comfortable here because we have a former press secretary from George Bush, a former priest, theologian, current theologian, executive coach, doing a comedy
executive coach.
show.
Yes.
Like none of us should be
What
comfortable
could go
with this.
wrong?
But
No, there is no. I unequivocally, there is no way this can be described as a comedy show.
obvious, like the ridiculousness of so much that's going on in this world right now that it's fun to laugh at it, honestly.
It's so fun.
We have to laugh at it.
We have to laugh. I have to laugh.
It's good to laugh at it.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good to laugh.
At the same time, we recognize we have a very serious issue of trust.
Yes, we have to. That's what it is. Our trust has been broken
in our leadership, and we all know it's a very serious thing. And it starts with the presidency. If we have a president who's really not running anything,
he really is running everything,
and that they get a lot of stuff done when he is not doing anything, that's a pretty sad situation, and we see that in a lot
not if you like the stuff that's getting done, I think.
Parts of our society right now, and I'm glad we're talking about these issues.
Just real quick.
It's so good that we're here to talk about these issues.
Jamie, how do the working people of Alaska feel about having to pay off the student loans of people like AOC?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to tons of people, but I would say in general, not fans. You know?
All right, I gotta go. I can't. Like this. That's. Oh God. That's Dana Perino filling in on Gutfeld's show, which the only difference between it and the 5 is the seating chart. Ugh. Oh, God. The other thing, too, is there's like 9... I was about to say, there's like 9 conservative comics out there who are complete pricks and could do that job better than Dana Perino, but I bet you Greg Gutfeld wouldn't want them to fill in. I'm gonna go with that because I think he would be concerned they might actually get a laugh, and then that's that. You know what I mean? Then they're like, oh wait, oh yeah, forgot. You know what's funny? I've been working here so long, I forgot Greg sucks. Oh, so awful. Okay, let's try something that will be hilarious. Just not on purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Kilmeade, this is insanity. And I'm having the same reaction too. Boy, Brian Kilmeade looks like shit. All right. I was just having a little gin. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Brian, what do you think? We got people in here bringing in the news. What do you got, Brian? What is it? Brian Kilmeade, everybody.
Pleasure. With great pleasure. Joining me is Brian Kilmeade, host of What Made America Great on Fox Nation.
Oh my God, he's there to sell his show. Oh. Fox Nation is their CNN Plus, only with fewer viewers.
Host of One Nation with Brian Kilmeade and the Brian Kilmeade Show.
And yet, with all those combined shows, I have to introduce him. Because even people who watch the network won't know who he is.
Brian?
Good job. Thank you for being here. We couldn't get a guest. No, nobody wants to come in. Brian. Thank you for having me, Larry. This is insanity. All right, you know, Johnny. I mean, yeah. What?
Set the table up perfectly. All right. So, I don't want to go. I'm not going to...
Where were we?
Burden you with all these details, but...
Yeah, because you don't have any. This is going to be fucked up.
Let's start with the politics of this.
Really? Why? Oh, right, because the details totally ruin your actual argument. Now, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, and I know this.
Democrats, senators, and House members running for re-election jump ship. But in general, what's your instinct? What's your gut?
Yes, tell us, Brian Kilmeade, what's your instinct? Well, I feel like, honestly, Larry, pointy food makes my belly hurt. That's my instinct. When I see like a plate of nachos, I wait till they're soggy because they look dangerous.
I mean, this is sheer vote buying, okay? That's the intent.
Okay, so they're talking about the student loan forgiveness.
Didn't even have the authority.
It's sheer vote buying
to do it. But Brian Kilmeade, is this going to work? Are people going to applaud?
If that is your real name.
Or not?
Well, I mean, I really feel the same way since he put it forward as I did prior to. The reason why he hesitated for a year and a half, the reason why he pushed back behind the scenes is the same reason why Cortez Maestro won't go for it, that Tim Ryan is not into it, that Senator Michael Bennet does not want to sign on to it, that Larry Summers is against it, and that so many others on the left aren't comfortable with it. Why? Because...
Yes. Sorry, say that again, Brian Kilmeade.
So many others on the left aren't comfortable with it. Why?
Because it's not total forgiveness. Because it's $10,000 of effectively like interest and a booster payment for certain people who've been underwater for a long time. Because he does have control over Pell Grants, but he doesn't have it over the entire loan system. And they can forgive a certain amount of it. And they're keeping it below $125,000. They're means testing it at $125 per individual household, $250 for couples, so that they're not bailing out millionaires and billionaires and hedge fund people. Exactly like I said, by the way.
Even the numbers don't add up. It's so hard to get 18 to 25s to the polls.
Yeah, those aren't the people with student debt. Those are the people who are going to have student debt. They aren't going to benefit from it. If you're trying to buy the 18 to 25-year-old crowd, guess what? The 18 to 25-year-old crowd isn't getting this bailout. Maybe if you're 25 and you just graduated, you're going to get a break from it. But if anything, you're going to piss off the 18, 19, and 20-year-olds because they're not going to. This is so stupid.
In the midterm, this will get them to the polls. If you take...
They don't.
If you get them to the polls with something that doesn't tick off the rest, go for it. But how many people are 38 years old, 42 years old, 54 years old and say, wait a second, I took great pride in knocking off my loan, building up my credit rating. When that was paid off, I made up a budget, took great pride in having a one-bedroom apartment to start off.
Yeah, and I'm really angry that anybody else would get a percentage of their debt shaved off.
Up, but one of my bills, like the lighting bill, is that student loan. And maybe you got accepted to one of those great liberal arts schools. They cost $50,000. And maybe another one accepted you at $25,000. And guess what?
You couldn't go.
I couldn't go.
Right.
And you're not denied. You remember what it was like. You say that's not going to happen again. Or you're going to say I'm going to make the most of that education. Or you realize at 30, no one asked you where you went.
Also, by the way, if you're 30, 35, 40, your debt from university or college is lower than it is now, because part of the reason why this is becoming increasingly necessary is because the price of a university education has skyrocketed in the last 20 years. So if you got it prior to that and you've been nursing this fucking thing for a long time, or you got an undergraduate degree and then you got a graduate degree, the graduate degree was way more expensive and on a totally different scale than the undergraduate degree, and even if it happened in 2000 or 98 or some shit like that, and you're still carrying that debt from it, and you're not getting it all paid off, you're just getting a portion of it removed.
And what you're capable of. And that's just it.
That's just it. That's nothing. Literally nothing said. Try harder. This is the best argument they're coming up with for why shaving $10,000 off of people's debt and $10,000 off of Pell Grant payments or off the cost of your that amount of your Pell Grant, rescinding that, and then allowing vets and other people who did public service who had their payments put on pause, or should have, but never got that, or defaulted because they were the system fucked them out of it, or it was too complicated. Now you don't have to do that anymore. It's the same thing that Biden's doing with the VA in a lot of ways, which is around burn pits. The idea was that to get your treatment and get taken care of. You had to remake your case every fucking time. And just because you served in the area, you had to prove that you were downwind of the shit. They eliminated that part. You shouldn't have to have an argument with the fucking VA when they know where you were stationed and for how long, and they know where the cancer clusters from those things were coming from.
I agree fully. I mean, that's my gut. Or you went to a trade school, you went to a vocational school, you went to a mechanic school, you learned to be a pilot. You didn't do any of this other stuff, but you're watching your tax bill going up, and B, a lot of school. People got.
Okay, first of all, sorry about the choppy audio. I don't know where that's, if that's on my end or their end, but if you went to a trade school, there are a lot of other programs to help you pay for trade schools, especially necessary skill work. Like a lot of times your company will pay for it in line with the government. A lot of trade school costs are I mean, you can zero that shit out way better and way easier than you can zero out the cost of even part of a university education.
You think to yourself, this is unfair, to vote against it.
I'll bring it to a different level.
Yes. Bring it down a little bit. I'd like to bring it down a little bit if I could.
A lot of people when they're 18, 19, a lot of their parents turn around and said, they want to say that their kid's going to Yale, that their kid's done a full ride.
Whether it's true or not.
UCLA. And other times, well, my kid's going to go to college. And if my kid...
A full ride, by the way, is a scholarship, so they wouldn't even... This doesn't even apply to them.
Decides they want to be an electrician or a plumber, there's pressure on the parents to say, well, maybe that's not that great. Thankfully, we are looking at it differently and more accurately and seeing the values of the trade and saying, my kid's not much of a student but loves working with his or her hands. They want to do something else with their life.
The fuck does this have to do with anything?
Want to join the military. A lot of parents feel pressure to turn around and tell their kids you're going to go to college because that's the American dream. We're reevaluating that now, but...
Are we?
Took a lot of slings and arrows because of that, and maybe side-eye glances from other parents to say, well, that kid isn't motivated. But they did it, they sucked it up, they had success. And what rubs salt in the wound? At 35 years old, you turn around and those kids can't pay off the student loan, those college kids who are 18 to 35, and now you're asked to go pay off that student loan to the tune of the American people. They estimate 154 million American taxpayers, and 154 million will pay between $500 and $800 billion of this back.
Each? Oh my God.
Really? Except for the people that actually got the advantage of the education. It is insanity.
What?
Also, they're not wiping out the entirety of the debt. Again, you're shaving off part of it. Also, hold on. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Let's see. See, Jacqueline, officer military event, left unemployed by coronavirus, year of online course occurs here at the federal government. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Financial, trade schools, pink. I gotta shrink this down so I can show you. Choosing a school, okay. Yeah, so all of the Pell Grant stuff, hold on one second, let me bring this over here if I could. Federal student aid, this is the page on federal student aid. Hold on, let me bring it down here so you can see it. See that? Federal student aid. This is studentaid.gov. Choosing a school, not sure what college or career school might be right for you? Learn about steps you can take. How about defining the right types of schools? There's a wide array of schools available for higher education. Options include 2- and 4-year colleges, universities, vocational, trade, and career schools. This applies to them too. Like, okay, many students worry about the tuition and other costs of continuing their education will be out of reach, but don't let the potential costs stop you. Most students receive some kind of financial aid, and a few students even get a free ride with all their costs covered. You should learn about financial aid, including grants, scholarships, work study. Now, there you go. Federal student aid provides part-time employment while you are enrolled in school to help pay your education. Boing, there we go. Work study and loans. All type of which might qualify, creating and managing a budget, admission requirements, accreditation. Search that page, enrollment contracts, refund policy, basketball, okay, useful statistics. They go by the graduation rate, the retention rate, job placement rate, and the loan default rate. You can see which ones, which careers and stuff. All this, like, they got an underwater basket weaving degree and they're making coal miners pay for it. Fucking hell.
I was just thinking as you were saying that.
I was totally zoned out while you were talking. I was just thinking while you were talking and not listening.
Electricians
also get Pell Grants, also get financial aid.
Plumbers
also get Pell Grants and financial aid.
Carpenters
also get Pell Grants and financial aid.
Are in huge demand.
Huge
demand. People that repair computers.
People that repair computers. Those are CompuCarpenters.
You know, technology in general. Huge.
Just technology in general.
Huge demand.
Yep.
Right, like DeVry.
They didn't go to Yale. They
right.
have to go to Yale, but
right.
They're earning very good money.
Right.
Figure money, right? Cops, nurses.
Yeah, that's public service. So they get pauses while they're serving. In some cases, like the Biden setup right now is that if you're a cop and you were serving or you went to you went to training as a police officer and then you like got your legal degree so you could join the FBI or something like that. That's a bad example because they hate the FBI right now. But that's nice. There's right now on Chris Hayes, he's got the fruits of crime on his on the screen. It's the Chiron. But in all these situations, they're all covered by these loans. They would all get relief from these loans.
School teachers.
Heaven forbid public school teachers. What a prick.
They didn't get all these loans, or if they did, a lot of them paid it off. And
right.
I think this is going to backfire on Biden. That's
Huge.
where I'm going on this.
Listen.
I keep reading about how the Democrats are now coming back for the midterm elections. I don't buy any of that stuff with a lot of phony polls, but I'm just saying to myself, with this student loan cancellation forgiveness bailout thing, this is a killer, absolute killer for the Democrats.
No. It is killer, but not in the way you think, dummy.
I think there's something else going on too.
Mm-hmm.
And that is head fakes. The head fakes with this bill in particular. We have a big heart, so we're going to pay off people that have big debts because we have a big heart. We are getting the deficit, not the deficit, but the Inflation Reduction Bill, but it's really not. We are in a recession, 2 quarters in recession, but we're really not. And after a while you go, listen.
We're not 2 quarters in recession. The idea is that the markers are normal for a recession because we had contraction 2 quarters in a row, but since we've just been through COVID, it's not the same fucking thing.
I'm not looking for a definition. I don't really need, by the way.
Yeah, I don't need you. All I need is Donald Trump to tell me to go to hell while I am shoveling hamburgers down my throat outside of Disneyland.
Even though your ratings defy that, in the summer until after Labor Day. Until after Labor Day. So now, like, when you're at the barbecue or you're living your life or, you're getting ready to go.
Yeah, you're at the barbecue and you're like, the world is going to hell. You want cheese? That's the problem these assholes don't realize they have, is that Trump is acting as if the world the United States is fucking on the verge of collapse, that nothing works, no one can go anywhere, there are no jobs. It is somewhere between, like, Hoover Towns and the 70s gas crunch. And that's just not everybody's experience. It's biting them in the ass because they're counting on it.
You don't really say to yourself, I wonder if I'm in a recession. I wonder if my personal economy's good. Let me put on the television. As much respect as they have for FBN, they are making their own decisions about their own life.
Yeah, but they watch Fox and Friends.
Well, they have to. They're human beings.
And your messaging. I'm going to
Right.
talk about your messaging just 1 minute, but I want to add one
Yeah,
more
I
thing.
want to get back on that thing after a gin break.
Here. A poll out, a very good poll from Trafalgar, likely voters, one of the best pollsters in the country. Brian, the country does not like the Justice Department and the FBI, okay? Biden's Justice Department submits proposed redactions for Mar-a-Lago.
43% and 8.4% are not sure. Respect for pursuit of justice, and then not sure. And like that's the majority who don't really have an opinion. They're too busy at the barbecue, obviously. And then the other half, how many want to guess that 47.9% are like, yeah, I would trust him if they'd fucking arrest Trump finally.
Should be unsealed in an unprecedented case. Okay, that's coming. Now look, independence.
Now look, here's the comment.
Opinion of DOJ and FBI. It's up on the full screen. It's roughly 48% say they're too political, corrupt, and can't be trusted. Only 44% say respected for pursuit of justice. Now these are law enforcement, right? Justice Department and FBI. People are watching Mar-a-Lago, whatever. They don't respect it anymore. That is a gigantic problem.
Also, anymore, give me a reference to where it was before.
It's a problem for Biden, but I think it's a problem for the country.
I do. I agree with you because it's not only that trust, but it looks partisan. Right. And if you just think about this, on this,
yeah, it looks partisan. It's not, but it's just that it looks that way. Why does it look that way? Well, because we keep telling everybody it is. Our entire network is dedicated to telling everyone that it is partisan, and then complaining that people don't trust it because it appears partisan. It's not based on the facts at all.
Or the same week that we hear about the DOJ and what right do they have to go in? Did they really go too far? Are they trying to make this an election issue? Are they trying to get more information for their January 6th interrogation?
Right, that's what I'm talking about. All this shit, he's mentioning all these things and acting as if those are real, and then going, I don't know why people don't trust him. I mean, all I'm doing is constantly insinuating that this is a witch hunt.
After Labor Day, and then you have the same time whistleblowers come forward and tell Senator Ron Johnson.
Yeah, no. Ron Johnson says whistleblowers came forward. I don't, like, again, this is a fucking, it's Ron Johnson. Again, if you're worried about the country, why are you going to one of the guys who was in Russia on July 4th in 2018?
Biden story was ready to go.
Suppressed.
And the FBI was told, do not touch the Hunter Biden laptop until after the election. So it's not a matter of being and don't back the blue. It has nothing to do with this.
No, it does. I mean, it's completely understandable that that Trump represents a certain group of people. By the way, piece of good news, one of our name checks or our personality checks or person checks that we do all the time on the show, when we're referencing the fact that these assholes pretend to back the blue and then absolutely do not. This guy, his Richardson, what's his name is Howard Richardson, 72, of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, sentenced to nearly 4 years for attacking a cop with a flagpole and that said Blue Lives Matter on it. He told the judge, I'm a good citizen. I've been a good neighbor. I went down to Washington as a patriotic citizen to celebrate. I allowed myself to be dragged into the mob mentality. No, you did not. The mob mentality involves maybe following the mob. You took initiative, my friend. Go fuck yourself. There are no similar circumstances where there are Biden flags in any of these situations. Just saying.
The blue and not support the way they acted in Uvalde or the Derek Chauvin in Minneapolis. It doesn't mean you don't back the blue. It means
it does if you charge up the Capitol steps and beat them.
That you don't do it unequivocally, which means you have more credibility. So if you are 30,
yeah. So what you're saying is that the backing the blue is kind of like is like it's got an asterisk next to it. kind of like defund the police has an asterisk, which is really fun social programs so that cops don't have to be sent to deal with people who are having mental health problems and therefore are put in a situation where they may have to kill someone who's a danger to everyone around them when there might have been another. You mean like that kind of an asterisk? No, of course not.
FBI agents doing a great job.
By the way, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like and subscribe. This is a hotel episode. These are always fun.
10 at the top.
Oops, hold on. Back up. Audio being crazy again. All right.
Going out to do the Democrats' work. That doesn't mean you don't back the blue. It means I see Andy McCabe, Klein Smith, I see Strzok, and I see Page, and I
see like it's like an unpatriotic version of Romper Room.
Jim Baker, and
I see dead people.
Sickened by
I smell burnt toast.
Partisanship. That doesn't mean you don't respect the FBI.
Well, it does if you say that they occupied, seized, and put your house under siege when you know they had already actually left. When you foment violence against them.
Breaking down Trump's door in Mar-a-Lago rather than negotiate. He was a former president.
They didn't break down the door at all. Is there a broken door? Is there a broken fucking anything? Is there a picture? Is there an Instagram picture from Trump camp of a fucking scuff on the floor or a wall?
As you say,
my hands are huge.
They suppressed completely the Hunter Biden laptop. And now I see the government is asking me to bail out the guy who lives on the other side of town.
Yeah, I don't go to the other side of fucking town. That's why I'm on this side of town. I don't want to be near the other side of town. People. The pimp people, the other people.
They couldn't even repay to go to that fancy school.
By the way, putting down
to go to that fancy school where he makes in the house less than $125,000 or less than $250 if it's a couple.
Putting down your tax reform as he exited the building. Well, for those same people who are critical of me, President Biden turned around and said, are those same people that gave huge tax breaks to the rich 2-3 years ago. That's another shot at you guys. Which is inaccurate.
Which they didn't. Which we didn't.
Which is inaccurate.
They all went to the middle class working folks.
No, it was temporary, asshole. The business tax breaks were permanent. The individuals were temporary.
The upper end did very poorly. All right.
The upper end did very poorly.
Right. You're terrific. Your commentating is
fast. So good. You know what? You're so good. You're just so good. You're so good. You're so good. Baby, you're so good. I'm working on my Cudlow. I think it's got legs.
Your TV shows are fabulous.
The radio thing you do is good. The whole thing is good. Your radio, when you do that, your puppet show, the thing you do where you pull one pocket inside out, unzip your fly and say, you want to see a one-eared elephant? Fabulous. I feel great.
Fabulous. And I worship.
Your radio shows are great. Your the thing where you skydive naked from an aeroplane. That's a Motley Crue video. Sorry.
Fox and Friends, or your radio show, okay. But you kind of broke my heart this morning.
I did?
I want you to just have to play this clip and you'll take a listen.
This meeting tomorrow in Jackson Hole with this speech by Fed Chairman Jay Powell.
Who's at Jackson Hole?
Jay Powell.
Right, but who else is there? It's like all the great financial minds, right?
Oh, Brian, these are not the great financial minds. This conference and
this is terrible. This can't be good. They didn't. Was I invited, Ahmed? No, I wasn't even asked. I was not asked to be there. Usually, I am asked, but they didn't ask me. No one asked me, and I'm here to be asked. But I did not get asked. Brian, please ask me.
Dominated by lefties, by socialists, by climate change people, by racial justice. Instead of fighting,
By racial justice. No, you could have left that off the list there, dummy.
fighting inflation. Yeah, well, when you said these are the finest economic minds, I just sagged.
Let me just say this.
I gulped down I said, that's not the Brian that I know.
So, Larry, let me just tell you, in the big world, the thing that should break down Larry Kudlow, at the end of...
Jesus Christ. I had no idea that Larry Kudlow laughs like a witch in a Poltergeist reboot.
At the end of Born Free, when you raise that lion and let it out to the jungle, that should break your heart because they'd never see each other again.
I don't even... What is happening at Fox? I'm not going to do any more Fox clips. It's just a collapse happening over there. Like this is like Russia. They still got the graphics. They've still got all the illusions of a functioning network, but it's just like the bottom is falling out of this fucking... What is happening? Good Lord.
Piccolo was racing Gail Sayers. He would eventually pass away in cancer. That should break your heart. But a casual mentions with a well-dressed business professional on a morning show should not break your heart, Larry.
It broke my heart. It's like when Joe Manchin, came out in favor of this Schumer bill.
But I would say powerful financial.
Well, so they think, although the whole world's against them because they bungled the inflation story so badly. We've said this week because we've covered this Jackson Hole conference. I used to go to that thing for years and years and years. Even
and then they stopped inviting me. I'm like Dershowitz in Napa now.
At it a couple of times. And then a while back in the late 90s or sometime, I kind of looked around with a few friends of mine, and it was all these liberal left, socialist, quasi-socialist, central bankers and fellow traveling economists. And the whole world had changed. And the results are showing it now. We've had all these crises and
Wait, when? Hold on. When did he say this started?
A while back in the late...
Hold on. Back up.
At it a couple of times. And then a while back in the late 90s or something.
In the late 90s. A while back in the late 90s. Hang on to that.
I looked around with a few friends of mine, and it was all these liberal left, socialist, quasi-socialist, central bankers and fellow traveling economists. And the whole world had changed. And the results are showing it now. We've had all these crises, and right now we're in another inflation crisis. Not so long ago, we had a financial crisis.
Right about here, this is where the apparently the quasi-socialists showed up. And after that, I don't even know what the fuck happened. The quasi-socialists drove the U.S. Gross domestic product in 2000, right after the late 90s, was $10 trillion. It is now $20.94 trillion GDP. Here's 2000. There it is. 1025. Look at it right up there. See that? Now we keep going. This is when the socialists apparently showed up. And now it's 20.94 trillion, the GDP of the United States.
To say it, but they're not the world's best minds. They're just not. We need some
we need some ordinary people who can take us back to when the country was worth $4 trillion less than China is now.
From business, not academics, people who worry about inflation and the cost of living.
Yeah, nobody worries about inflation and the cost of living.
Live with the results.
Yeah, I mean, we need people from the real world. That's the big problem with...
Yeah, like you, Larry. You know, somebody like you who, as far back as the 90s, was being invited to giant financial meetings with the Fed. You know, street folks.
Practitioners. There's no people with common horse sense. I'm not...
Well, you do know the difference between that and horse shit, right?
Here to beat up on you.
Oh, God. Hold on one second. There we go.
But I'm just saying, I didn't want it to pass because I just don't think it's true. I think once upon a time, when Volcker was chairman and Greenspan was
Oh, fucking Volcker. When he knew that what caused all this was printing money, and we printed too much money. It's not supply shock. We printed money during COVID, and now this printed money is outflowing. Never mind liquidity problems are the greatest problem on earth right now. But
went to those conferences. They did have the best minds, and it was equally balanced left and right, with a conservative tilt as it ought to be. These are the financial people. No.
Yes, these conservative financial people, as opposed to liberal financial people. I'm sorry, how many communists were showing up at Jackson fucking Hole?
Left, they're all more worried about climate change than inflation, because inflation hits the ordinary working person. Climate change is the coastal elites.
Right.
Yeah, like, because that's where the properties are going to be underwater.
And when you talk about energy and what we need to do to turn around an economy, and they don't
thorium reactors
go to that, that makes you think they're not trying to win the game.
I mean, it's the same. I'm going to add to it the Davos crowd.
Right.
I'm going to add to it even, I regret to say, the BRT, the big CEOs that meet in Washington, the Business Roundtable crowd.
Yeah, all commies now.
They've all moved left.
They all moved left. They're all pro-gay marriage, women's rights. They think that billionaires should pay a little bit more taxes before they become trillionaires.
But basically, I don't know why. It's hurting us. Well, it's almost like, here, let me connect one last dot and then we'll go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
This is so fucking dull.
Talking about half the country has lost confidence in the FBI.
Oh my God, 47. They're going to the same fucking
Justice Department.
Yep.
No, they haven't. That 47% is independence, and they haven't all lost faith in it for the same reason. Half of them have lost faith because they're lean pro-Trump. Half of them lost faith because they want Trump arrested. It's not the same thing.
Okay. I'll bet you more than half the country has lost confidence in the public school system, and I'll bet you way more than half the country has lost confidence in the financial and economic management of these big organizations like the Federal Reserve.
And
yeah, because the Federal Reserve has been trusted for so long. Ron Paul actually became a powerful political player because he ran on effectively auditing the Fed. That was his one-note policy. That's what got him through. He's not qualified by any measure to get as far as he got politically, but that one note was enough to get him that far.
Build on that. They haven't lost confidence because of marketing. They haven't lost about advertising.
They've lost because your news channel makes up shit about them all the time.
Lost because the results were...
Well, hold on. We lost because I don't know where I had a gin bottle in the lamp and it fell over.
And their performance has caused that lack of confidence.
That's exactly.
It's nobody's
So
advice.
true.
It's what they see and what they see in their own families when it comes to schools. But it doesn't mean we don't have phenomenal teachers who don't do it.
Oh my God, this asshole wanted to have it both ways all the fucking time. I can't. All right. At this point, for Pete's sake, Fox, what is happening over there? Okay, how much time do I have left? I have just enough time. Do I dare even dive into... Well, here, let's jump... Today, by the way, you're watching HAL, SPARKS, Mega Worldwide. I go through these whole clips. The only time I ever don't do the whole clip is when they're just brutally dull. And those are like two in a row. That's just the state of Fox right now. Hopefully, we can do a double hitter with this one and maybe bring us out of a slump. I hope. Gentlemen, it's Reservoir Glenn. That's the Glenn Beck action figure that's happening today. And his guest is Mark Levin, who is convinced, Mr. Producer, that the left's FBI misuse did not start with the Trump raid. Wasn't a raid. It was a. They did a search. Let's find out. That's his name.
Nationally syndicated talk radio host of Levin TV, chairman of Landmark Legal Foundation, host of the Fox News show Life, Liberty, and Levin, author of 6 consecutive #1 New York Times bestsellers, Liberty and Tyranny, spent 3 months at #1, sold more than 1.5 million copies.
And Glenn has his copy of his book right there, and it's just, hold on, I gotta see if I'm pointing in the right direction. It's got his book right there in the corner. I'm not gonna move myself over to get out of the way, but trust me, he's got his book right there, and it's not selling at all. Largely because he puts it right in front of where the camera will hit it all the time, but his name had to be on top because he insisted.
Marxism, I think, was the #1 best-selling book of the year. He's also an inductee of the National Radio Hall of Fame, top advisor to several members of President Ronald Reagan's cabinet. He holds a BA from Temple University, a JD from Temple University Law School, and he's on the program. It's on the program now to make me feel like a slug. Hello, Mark Levin. How are you?
Why are you reading all that?
No one cares.
Just looking you up and just seeing all the things that you've accomplished, and then I started feeling bad, so I stopped reading.
Don't go to Wikipedia. That'll make you happy.
So, Mark,
hate me. Yeah.
I wanted to...
Oh, God. Levin's audio sucks.
A special tonight on the FBI and how out of control Justice and the FBI are, and they've been
terrible. They're run amok
this way for a long time. I mean, they were started, and when they started, they were corrupt.
Right. Yeah. Let's make America great again. Back before the FBI existed.
We're seeing things with Donald Trump that should scare people to the core.
Yes, it should frighten people that a former president can keep classified documents at his rental property and allow a woman posing as a Rothschild to fucking hang out there on weekends. At all.
Average Democrat who's not a Marxist doesn't understand what is happening right now.
I don't understand. You're right, Glenn. I'm not a Marxist at all. I'm a Democrat. It's kind of crucial. Marx did not allow for true democracy to exist in the country. It's going to be a look at how China's run right now. That was more in line with what he was hoping for. Sort of not the kind of thing you have if you want a democracy.
Well, first of all, they need to understand how corrupt their party is.
Okay, all right. Well, tell me.
The FBI has been used by Democrat president after Democrat president in illegal ways, really starting with Franklin Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He used the FDR against his political opponents, including within...
Franklin Roosevelt used the FDR against his opponents. I think he means used the FBI, but I don't know. It might just be a nickname for Roosevelt's penis.
Mm-hmm. He used the FDR against his political opponents,
if you know what I'm saying,
within his own party. And they would collect dirt on his political opponents. He would use the IRS the same way, which is why adding 87,000 agents is a disaster.
Disaster.
He unleashed...
Disaster. It's a disaster. It's a disaster for multinational corporations, but...
The IRS on Andrew Mellon, who'd been the Treasury Secretary under Coolidge.
Yep.
Even the judge at the very end was wondering why he had this 10-year criminal investigation, because his Treasury Secretary ordered it at FDR's demand. And he used the FBI against a number of individuals and groups, including the media. Robert...
Fucking hell. Can you imagine being that hard up for talking points about Joe Biden and the current state of the United States that you have to go back to FDR to start your complaining? These are, by the way, the same people who are like, these people are wrecking the country. We need to take our country back to the way it was.
Thing with John Kennedy, they used the FBI to tap Martin Luther King's phone, among others. And of course, he used the IRS to collect data on his political opponents. Probably.
Why did the Republicans never figure out how to do this?
Worse.
I guess Nixon just had to hire his own people. Is that what you're mad about? That he? I mean, it is. If you view yourself as a true capitalist, you wouldn't want the government to be subsidizing your chicanery.
He used the FBI, the IRS, and the CIA. He even bugged Hubert Humphrey's phone when Hubert Humphrey was running for president in the Democrat primary. First, he used it. He wanted to see if he was loyal or not. He used the FBI, sent an FBI team to Atlantic City at the Democrat convention there to monitor Martin Luther King and other civil rights leaders to see if they were going to be attacking him, Lyndon Johnson, even though he wasn't running again.
Then why would he? All right. That was Hoover. I mean, that was J. Edgar Hoover.
And got caught doing some of the same things they did, but not.
Yeah, but not as good because he's not a Democrat, so he doesn't really have the skill.
Really as much, but it didn't matter because he was a Republican.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. It didn't matter because he was a Republican because he did these things. So you're saying that misuse of the FBI only matters when it's a Democrat. Gotcha.
On Trump
wasn't an attack.
Is akin the same pattern, but worse. It is.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm starting to lose interest.
Constant. It's through his candidacy, his presidency, his post-presidency. As you undoubtedly know by now, you had two brilliant litigators, constitutional litigators, not these former federal prosecutors who are a dime a dozen and don't even understand the Constitution. And they made the point in the Wall Street Journal the other day, and they're right, that the Presidential Records Act allows the president to have access to classified and non-classified information. There's nothing in there about where he can store it. He can bring it home if he wants, and that's...
No, he can't. No, he cannot. Former employees of the federal government don't have a grab bag to take anything they fucking want with them, especially if it's classified. While you're there, they have a strategy in place to control the access to certain information. Even while you're president, you sure as shit don't get to decide after you leave or after you've lost that you're going to take a bunch of shit with you.
I've been arguing the president can't violate the Espionage Act. How can it violate the Espionage Act of 1917? When he's president, he says, all right, I'm taking these documents with me. You can't have a clearer statement of declassification than I'm taking these documents with me.
Yes, you can. You can say, I'm declassifying these for administrative purposes, and here's a memo I've written on it. It is only for these things, and these are not now open to the public, which is what declassification would mean. He's obviously not declassifying them. He's keeping them for himself. If that stood, then simply having it in your bag without even having to talk, I'm taking these documents with me, not realizing one day that one of them was top secret or something, or inadvertently carrying them, then everything they said about Hillary Clinton, for example, stuff that ended up on her server because she was at the State Department, as the Secretary of State, she has the right to take some of that work home with her. She should be able to declassify stuff at her level if she's been, put in that position by the President of the United States. He can go, yeah, whatever she thinks is right.
But classified as these gentlemen
they aren't.
Point out, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
In fact, he has exclusive use of these documents. Even the existing president can't just claim those documents unless they have an absolute significant reason to.
So
they do. National security.
They came out. Yeah. They came out with. I think it was a general warrant, but they came out with this warrant, and then we started hearing that it's nuclear secrets and it's espionage, all this bullcrap. What is
bullcrap, which largely turns out to be true, according to the document we saw today.
That they were really looking for, and how do we shake off the chains of this government?
Yes, It's true. Poor, enslaved Glenn Beck and Mark Levin chained together by the naughty bits. Sorry, one of my lights just went out.
This corrupt.
Well, they wanted to grab everything. And so they could.
Wait. Were you?
Yeah, that was good. I got that.
You're breaking up. I'm sorry. Say it again.
I'm sorry, the damn phone fell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got this phone as part of Medicare Plus.
Right.
This home in Florida, I'll just tell you in the country. It's like old box. Remember those old movies?
Yes.
The cement and the steel and everything else?
Yes.
I said to the builder, I'm only building this damn thing once. I don't care how many hurricanes we have here, and I don't care about FEMA.
Right.
Well, they said the rules in the state are 170 miles an hour. You have to go. I said, but the state isn't building my house. 210 miles an hour. That's what I want the house sustained to. So I poured all the money into the structure. I'm just pointing this out. So I have 8-inch thick cement, steel walls and floors.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it. And pilings underneath. So we had additional systems so I could use my cell phone, but there's certain dead spots.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Like, there's dead spots in the house. Well, then, why is your office in one of the dead spots, dum-dum? Why didn't you put a cell phone repeater in that room? All right.
You okay now?
Yeah, I do.
What was your question again?
My question is, what do you think they were looking for, and how do we shake the chains of this government that is so corrupt and out
Shake the chains of this government.
Of control? It seems like we're cornered.
We're cornered? What the fuck does this have to do with you? Like, the self-aggrandizing part of this is stunning.
What?
You're not Glenn. You're not important. Neither is Mark Levin. This FBI raid was not of your home. This wasn't America's home.
You're right about the general warrant. This clearly violates the Fourth Amendment and the
No, it doesn't.
particularity requirement,
No, it doesn't. It was very specific.
which was crucial to the colonists and to the framers.
The colonists! Oh my God, it wasn't bad enough we were going back to FDR. Now he's going back to the fucking colonists. Oh, shit.
Violated, I don't know what does.
You don't know what does.
And so they walk in there and they grab everything. I think
Sounds like a party.
looking for anything. January 6th, of course, I've talked about that. And I'm sure you have. Anything they can get their hands on. And now they find, and they knew there were classified documents in there, so they're trying to use criminal statutes on that.
Why were yes, that apply to classified documents.
Like Weissman and put them on TV, and very ignorant, low IQ hosts and news people
I feel seen.
just keep talking about, hey, he's got 700 pages of documents. Classified, 300 classified documents. Who cares?
Ugh,
Who cares? And of course,
who cares? He can have it. He's Donald Trump. He's the land and the king are one.
doesn't want to release the affidavit is they prefer to leak this stuff to the New York Times and the Washington Post in order to control it.
Correct. Both of them are just mad. No one's giving them any information.
Now, what do we do about this? You're not going to like this.
Uh-oh.
We are in the abyss trying to claw our way out. It's
No, that's just how your house is designed.
We're heading for the abyss.
Wait, are we in it or are you heading for it?
We are trying to claw our way out. It's not we're heading for the abyss.
Okay.
It's not that the country is unraveling. It's unraveled. And so the question...
Yeah, you can tell. Have you been outside? Has anybody been outside lately? It's like The Purge meets The Walking Dead. I don't know how anybody makes it to the corner store.
How do we deal with a political party that hates America, that takes...
Well, I mean, we voted them out last time. I think that's a good start.
Every step possible to empower itself, that only uses the Constitution to defend itself or against their enemies, but otherwise has no respect or faith in the Constitution whatsoever.
It only works when it is against actual criminal behavior.
How do we defend ourselves and fix it by not becoming all that we despise?
Right. How do we fight tyranny by not being murderous tyrants ourselves. I guess we can't. Never mind. Fuck it. Let's do it.
The Constitution. How can we do that?
It's you've got to elect people, if not Trump, like Trump, who are willing to take them on, who can stand up to this. This is why so many people are attracted to him.
I know.
It's because he doesn't bend. He fights back. He fights back. They try and take him out with impeachments and criminal investigations.
And he just ultimately does not give a rat's ass about the law. It's a spectacular thing. I don't even know how he manages to do it, but what a total asshole. And it's so powerful. It's wonderful.
Investigations, state attorney investigations, tax investigations, property investigations. Now this crap with his home and his wife's closet and all the rest of it. That's why we have to defend him. Whether you like tweets or not is beside the point. Because if they take him down, who's going to fight for us?
Yeah, there's nobody. There never was. The Republican Party wasn't worth a shit until Donald Trump showed up. And then when he's gone, what have we got? We got nothing. Nothing. Seriously. Seriously.
Don't you think he'll do the same thing?
I think DeSantis would do the same thing, but I will tell you the only one that has been tested in literally the fires of hell is Trump.
Well, wait a minute. In literally the fires of hell. First of all, fuck you. With just the asshole misuse of literally. Just what a prick. No, not literally. Specifically not literally, you asshole. Tested in the fires of hell? Are you kidding me? I didn't realize that when you were in the fires of hell, you could spend an inordinate amount of time golfing.
That's exactly right. And honestly, what did he do to deserve this?
He took classified documents, stored them in a storage room with no fucking lock on them. He lied to the American people. He fomented a violent insurrection against the country. He tried to destroy our democratic system of government from within, and then failing that, on his way out the door, decided to burn the bridge after he, burn the boats after he'd gotten across the river, essentially. And ever since then, he's been fighting it. I mean, I'm not even going back to the grab him by the pussy tape at this point. He danced with Jeffrey Epstein. How about that? Is that enough? Nothing. He never did anything. He's a poor man.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
He hasn't broken the law. If he's broken the law, don't you think they'd have him by now?
Yeah.
He has broken the law. But he gets his day in court, stupid.
Obstruction and looking back at his property taxes 10 years ago and his income taxes 15 years ago.
No, not 15 years ago. Like 8 years ago. Like ongoing. Like still.
Just all crap.
I guarantee it. I guarantee this motherfucker, if he got a loan since he's left office, same shit.
Examine like this. Imagine looking at the Pelosi taxes for 10 or 15 years. Or looking at the Biden, seriously, how he's been bought off by foreign governments.
And again, like how, for fuck's sake, we've seen his taxes. Sorry, I'm going to be more dubious about the guy who won't show his fucking taxes.
Could withstand this, but Trump withstands it.
What do you mean none of these politicians could withstand it? Trump fucking made his political bones claiming that Obama wasn't even born in the fucking country, that he didn't even deserve to it, that he was a legacy hire because he was black and he got into Harvard and he wasn't deserving it. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Minutes, unless you can stay after the break. I know you're busy. Which do you prefer? 2 minutes, or let me break and then come
we
back?
can stay after the break. I'm talking to the great
I don't have anywhere to be.
Glenn Beck.
Okay, hang on just a second. Mark, I'm really frustrated.
Sexually. I don't want to bring this up on the air, but I was just hoping that, we could break through kind of the log jam, no pun intended.
If we don't get the House and the Senate,
you're not going to.
There's almost nothing that the House can do except, block people like Nancy Pelosi and shut everything out, but they can't actually reverse anything, can they? Constitutionally, if we only have the House, what can we accomplish?
Well, we can stop things, you're right, but we can't move the ball forward.
So par for the course. So it's standard operating procedure for the GOP.
And in the Senate, we also have another problem in addition to the filibuster, which I happen to support. We have Mitch McConnell, who is in and of himself a filibuster against conservatives. You might remember in 2010 how he hated the Tea Party movement.
Oh, yeah, he still does.
Well, he hates the MAGA movement.
Yeah.
In 1976.
I don't know why, considering they lost him the House and the Senate and then ultimately the presidency. It's almost like it's a failing system. Hold on one second. I have to check something. Sorry, guys. I need a cable. Hold on. I'm right here. I haven't left you. You're around. Give me a second. I think, oh, wait, maybe this will do it. I can't let my battery die, but I'm screwing around with it. Hi. I'm plugging something in. Beg your pardon. Enjoy. This goes in. Why is it going there? Okay, I don't know. That's very strange. This guy goes in this guy. I think it should. Hold on. Sorry, 1 second. My hub software is coming up. All right, there we go. Back here. There we go.
Was a Gerald Ford guy, and he was never really a Reagan guy. He worked in the Ford Justice Department briefly.
Oh, my God. Did he know the colonialists? Jesus Christ.
This guy is quintessential Washington rhino, and just...
Yes, he still has his job.
Ask yourself, what are the Republicans running on in the Senate? You don't even know.
Yeah. Gee, what are they for? What's Trump for, other than I want to be president again so I'm not prosecuted?
I haven't coalesced around a message because the guy's not a leader. But he raised...
What's Trump's message then? He's the leader. What do they stand for? What's MAGA going to do? What is it? What's MAGA's message right now?
Money. They changed the law a few years back.
And he controls the money for all the other senators.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
and
he
so
does.
he controls the National Republican Senatorial Committee,
absolutely,
which can take in hundreds of thousands of dollars per donor.
Hundreds
used to be
of
a limit
dollars
of
of
30-some thousand.
Terrible.
He put a rider on, I think it was Obamacare or something like that, and he changed that to empower himself. He has no capacity to communicate with the average...
Hold on. Why is it? Oh, there we go. All right.
The American people. He always talks like he has a salami sandwich in his mouth or something. You know. And
hey, I want to ask you. You said you were for the filibuster. I'm for the filibuster. However, I would be for changing the filibuster back to the way it originally was, where it was Mr. Smith goes to Washington. You actually have to stand on the floor and filibuster.
Hey, look at that. Glenn Beck and I agree on something.
Now, the Democrats, if I'm not mistaken, changed it so you can just say, I'm going to filibuster.
You would be mistaken. The Republicans did that.
Everybody goes home.
Well, that's true. They threatened to filibuster. I don't know how we change that, since the Senate can make its own rules.
Well,
we can't even change the Republican leader in the Senate right now, and I think that's the start. We've got to have younger, newer,
dumber
people who come to Washington, know their terms are limited, and have as their purpose to make
He's walking around again.
defense or
It's on the shitter.
We're always playing defense, or we're always on our backs are against the wall. These guys, they come in, they have...
Oh my God, it's just terrible. This is the state of modern right-wing media? Really? Christ almighty. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to switch to something real quick. To me. Hi. Hey, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide from the hotel. I'm glad I'm doing a show today, but holy shit, is the right wing having a hard time just struggling to say fucking anything about this stuff? Like the panic that supposedly exists, on the Democratic side. They're like, like during the last few months, like we're gonna lose, like everybody's waking out. Meanwhile, on the Republican side, they've been looking at these numbers and they're sweating for real. I'm gonna see something real quick. Oh God, just brutal. Hi everybody. Hi chat room. Thanks for hanging in today. I feel like today's show is dull because of the current state of whining that's going on. And some of these are, bigger, but they're just long. They're long clips. Hold on. Is Trump actually pastor to President Trump? Wait. Oh, I see. Okay, I thought Trump was getting his hand, like someone's laying their hands on Trump again. Give me 1 second. Ugh. Okay, Samoan Gold. There's a lot of this anti-vaxxer stuff. This is here it is. This was, let's just do this because I don't have time for a whole other clip today because I've got to go. But this one stuck out as, this is Alex Jones's emergency message to Donald Trump. Now, if you don't know, Alex Jones said that he's done with Trump and that he's moved on to DeSantis. He wants DeSantis. But he caught a lot of shit. So he was like, look at the last what? Look at the last the last super chat. I beg your pardon. No, how enlightening it makes me. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. Thanks so much. I'm sorry if I missed a super chat. Give me 1 second. I was so busy looking in these crazy things. It's crazy pants. Let's see if I can get this in here. The YouTube, but you have to, it is kind of amazing to me what bad shape they are in. Oh my gosh, 200, really? Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I always feel like when I'm doing a hotel show that I'm not delivering the way I normally do, and so I kind of have a tendency to take it personally. So, oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. Hold on 1 second. I'm opening up the thing. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oops. Here it is. Hold on. Dink. Oh, Eric, thank you. Enjoy San Francisco and have fun sharing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Eric. That's amazing. Bless you. That's so fantastic. Now I'm flabbergasted, and I adore you. You guys are lovely. Like I said, I do the show because I do the show, and I would be doing it. The nice thing about the show is that I would do it for free. And as many of you know, in the first 16 months, I kind of did, and we are at a point now where the cost of doing the show I've crested out of the cost part of it. Not a lot, but enough, and that's a good thing. Luckily, I have other shows and, band shows and stand-up and stuff to kind of, to help build on that and makes it a little bit easier. But I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it. And I scramble to put the show together when I'm on the road, and I love you guys. And I feel if it's not happening, I could feel like not being here with you. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, God damn it. What time is it? I can't get there in time. Like the flight being late today and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, Eric, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for the bits, especially on Twitch as well. Bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. Become a member on YouTube if you want to. Also, patreon.com/HalSparks. Next month is my birthday. It's a good month to do the annual on your Patreon, like re-up your annual. MJ, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Okay, so let's do this real quick, because oh crap, they're gonna cover it. Hold on, get back over here. What happened? You guys see it okay, but on my end, added. Okay, how's that? There you go. Got to jump this up. It's being weird. Hold on. It died. Hold on. I've got to hold. There you are. This is my software bouncing in on itself. Give me one second. I was fixing that, and it threw me. Bring up that other website got confused everything. So hold on one second. I've got to. How do I do this? I got to studio mode, and then I got to go to this thing, and then I got to choose in this guy. That guy. Let's see. iPad, and then I gotta open that up, and then I gotta do this guy, and then I gotta go. Oh, maybe it doubled. That's why. That's funny. Give me 1 second. It's very confused. Displays, and let's see. Excellent. Okay. Then we go back to here. We open this back up. We go to build. We go back to the sidecar. There we go. Okay. Now it's up and running again, and I can. There we go. Whew. I use my iPad as a second monitor so that I can watch the clips, and because I have so much stuff on my screen, as you saw when it's shifted over. So thank you guys so much for your patience when that happens. Bless you. Let's see. I'm going to pop the chat out so that I can have that in case I lose it again, so that I can shut down that thing and not eat up my... Okay, good. All right. Got it. Here we go. Now, this is the emergency message to Trump from Alex Jones, from his, I suppose, the new headquarters of his Nexium sex cult.
You have been set...
He's not watching this.
You've been set up by...
Uh-oh. You've been set up. Did this show up on his phone?
Deep State. Your former White House coordinator admits they knew the shot would never work and that they lied to you. The current head of the CDC has now come out and admitted this.
No, they haven't. I don't know what the fuck they've supposedly admitted, but they haven't admitted any such thing.
Rats. The sinking ship.
Well, yeah, so Trump is a sinking ship. I'm with you so far.
And are preparing to set you up. But there's still time to get on the right side of history.
If you act now, I'll throw in some rice-a-roni.
Save a lot of lives, Mr. President.
Oh, I thought this was just going to be kind of a personal attack. Or a personal message, and now it's turning into a big special. It's exciting. This is my special message to President Trump. Don't you know that I'm here for you?
InfoWars, the most banned network in the world.
And yet it's everywhere.
I knew these vaccines were not going to protect against
Oh my God, Dr. Birx.
infection, and I think we overplayed the vaccines, and it made people then worry that it's not going to protect against severe disease and hospitalization.
Alex Jones.
Which it did.
Issuing an emergency.
Alex Jones here, in case you confuse me for a fat Wolverine cosplayer who is standing in front of a giant map on the picture on the wall of a pottery barn.
To President Trump.
Uh-huh. That you are clearly reading from the screen.
Not a warning out of any desire to hurt you, President Trump.
No. Most people warn people to get them hurt. We say duck just so they'll slam their head on the desk.
Your important legacy, and hopefully ensure you can get back into the White House.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up in 2024.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Oh, yeah. I'm holding my breath right now.
We know the election was stolen. We know that
No, we don't.
deep state's trying to set you up any way they can.
No. No, and you were supposed to drain the swamp anyways. I don't even know why there's any of them left.
We understand that you are a lion surrounded by hyenas.
Well, that's, I mean, look, he can allow anybody, he can allow whoever he wants into Mar-a-Lago. That's up to him.
Issue that is going to end up biting you in the ass like nothing else.
Well, so maybe it should be the number 2 issue?
The experimental shot that Fauci and Bill Gates and Birx and the rest of them convinced you would actually save millions of lives and get the economy going when they had brought out their lockdowns. I know why you did it. You've done so many other great things for this nation, and I admire you and I appreciate you. And
Wait a minute. Is he going to warn him to not tell people to get vaccinated? How old is this?
want to president. But Ron DeSantis is coming out and admitting that the vaccines don't work because now the CDC and others have been forced to admit that.
Even the CDC is backhandedly acknowledging that the shots aren't preventing people from getting infected.
We have Deborah Burke.
Right, but they're preventing them from dying.
Coming out and
I mean, but you live in Florida, it's God's waiting room. I guess supposedly we need some new blood in Florida, so some of these old fuckers have to die.
COVID vaccine wouldn't protect. We have
against infection, but against severe disease, illness, and death.
Walensky.
Oh my God. Hold on, let me back this up. I don't know why he seems to think the timing on this is important. We'll see.
And saying that they were wrong about all this.
We made some pretty public mistakes and we need to own them.
This admission came after the CDC received the findings of an external review she ordered of the agency. The CDC says the review found the agency's COVID guidance was confusing and overwhelming.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing. Doesn't mean the vaccines weren't wrong. It's because they were learning on the fly how to express safety measures to the public.
You know it's great and you're proud of it. Now that they've admittedly set you and America and the world up with an experimental drug they rolled out of gene therapy against the general public, it is critical for you.
It's critical for you to go on television right now and tell everyone that if you've been vaccinated, you're a genetic pariah and you're probably going to die. You know, just so there's no panic.
Couple from these people like Bolsonaro and other leaders like Viktor Orban have done, saying, hey, at first we were for this, we thought it might help, but now we know it doesn't work, it's a fraud, and we need to put the brakes on this.
Yes, that since their countries are doing so well, I think following their advice, it makes a lot of sense.
President Trump, I care about...
Whoops. Back up, hold on. The audio gets crunchy.
After 6-month-old and up babies with these dangerous shots. And the numbers are coming out. Fox News has top journalists and scientists on confirming that the shots have killed hundreds of thousands of people here in the United States alone.
No, they don't. No, they are doing no such fucking thing.
Well, what I found was that hundreds of thousands of Americans have been killed by this vaccine, and millions have been injured. And, you know, clearly you are more likely to be injured or dead from the vaccine than if you were unvaccinated. So what they're saying and what the reality is...
Well, hold on. Then why aren't there more deaths after vaccination? Whoops.
So the rats are leaving the sinking.
Hold on. I have to reconnect my display. I don't know why it does that, but here we go. I know. Okay. Doing the same thing again. Beg your pardon. Why it drops out in here. I have to fix it. It just knows I have to go in a minute, so it's trying to make things more complicated. Just to mess with me. Let's see. Okay. Oops. Okay. And then and go back to here.
They're now admitting they were wrong. They weren't wrong. They did this by design. And there you are at your rally saying, yeah, the shots shouldn't be forced and we shouldn't be kicking the military out. And that's good. But you have to go further and come out against these shots for children. President Trump.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
This is your Rubicon moment.
Okay. This is his Rubik's Cube moment.
America knows you.
This is his big con moment.
Well, America knows you fought the forced masking and the lockdowns and all the rest of the
No, he didn't.
garbage. America knows that you.
No, he didn't. He avoided it during the negotiations on the China deal.
Pushed incredibly life-saving monoclonials and got
Monoclonials. It's a new word.
approved in record time. And you were right. Your gamble of approving that and ramming it through worked. No side effects. Amazing.
Didn't work.
Incredible.
Doesn't help.
But they lied to you about these mRNA shots. And so you got to come out and say, hey, we were right about the monoclonials. I'm not a
Monoclonals.
doctor. I listen to these people. They now admit they were wrong. You've got to decouple yourself when your enemies, Fauci and the rest of them, Walensky and others are admitting, okay, it doesn't really work. It doesn't protect you. In fact, it erases your immune system.
It erases your immune system. Yes. It's basically they just gave everyone AIDS. So if you've been vaccinated, you now have, according to Alex Jones, full-blown AIDS. I don't know what the fuck. You who have been vaccinated and boosted have full-blown AIDS, Mr. President.
Still up there saying you're proud of this. Don't
like a dumbass.
Let them set you up. This is the one flaw in your administration. Everything else you did was incredible.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I mean, the healthcare plan is, I mean, it'll be along any time now, but it was amazing. It'll be amazing. Couple weeks. The wall, awesome. The way it blew down, way it actually, where like immigration was actually worse after it was constructed, amazing.
This is my emergency.
Whoops. Here we go. It drops out, sorry.
To you, Mr. President.
Mr.
Go and actually watch the first 30 minutes of Thursday's show.
Yeah, that's good. Don't include it in the message. Leave a link in the description below.
Below here.
Oh, fuck you.
So you can see what I said in context.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, Mr. President, you may not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Heck, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But if you go watch the beginning of the show on Thursday, what day is today? Whenever you're watching this, whatever the last Thursday show was, go watch the first half hour of that, 20 minutes. Watch the commercials at the very least. Buy some lead dick pills and.
Edited down a 30-second clip to make it sound like that I'm only for DeSantis and that I've abandoned.
I see. So this is him in that 30 minutes. He absolutely did support DeSantis and say, I'm done with Trump, and now he's walking it back.
Not true. It's the contrary. I understand you're under attack. I understand you are surrounded, and I'm trying to get you to reassess the situation.
I'm leaving you to help you. Actually, if it was Alex Jones saying that, that might be true.
I know.
I wonder if Alex Jones ever considered saying this to his wife.
People like Don are telling you that you need to reassess the situation.
No, I don't think he is.
I know people around you that you can trust understand how dangerous this is, because these are children and babies' lives now that are being affected by these shots. We need the heads of Pfizer and Moderna and others to be called in for congressional testimony. They need to get in major trouble for what they've done. And you need to...
Yeah, they need a spanking.
...lead the charge against them.
Yes, because you have gotten shots from 2 of those companies, and because of that, you have full-blown AIDS.
The ball is in your court.
Even though you have full-blown AIDS.
But the people in your administration...
who don't have full-blown AIDS, or do. They got vaccinated too, so they have full-blown AIDS.
...that were coordinating this operation that you trusted lied to you.
Just so they could give you full-blown AIDS.
All I'm saying is
All I'm saying is you have full-blown AIDS.
Go as far as your enemies have gone and admit it didn't work. They're the ones that are to blame, not you.
Okay, the facial desperation here is spectacular.
By you not doing the right thing at this critical point, you are angering your constituents. I'm on the streets everywhere.
Working it. How do you think I pay for this wonderful place? Alex Jones walks in. Hey guys, I got $1,245.25. Who gave you 25 cents, Alex? Everybody.
Take day. And I can tell you, your most ardent, hardcore supporters are very sad right now.
Yes, to find out that you have full-blown AIDS.
Very, very upset. Because every passing day and week that goes, as more side effects and more carnage comes out, it's going to be blamed on you.
Yeah. I plan on blaming him.
You don't have much time.
No, you don't, because you have full-blown AIDS, pretty much.
Don't let them destroy you. Don't let them destroy America.
Well, it's a little late for that, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to.
Continue to show the incredible instincts and smarts you've had, and expose this lie and become a champion of going after Big Pharma for what they've done. Thank you so much.
And if you talk to them, maybe you can get treatment for your full-blown AIDS. This is. Caleb's in the chat. It's time to go. I got a minute. My timing's almost perfect.
Mr. President, I know you've tried to reach out, and I missed the call, but I did get the message through one of your associates, and you're asking why I did what I did. Hopefully this clip will make it.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't. He didn't ask. He was like...
to you, and you understand.
Don Jr. reached out to me. We have the same blow dealer.
Why I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart.
Which is somewhere around my prolapsed liver.
That's what you've been up to, and to really get on the right side of history.
While you've got time, because you got vaccinated and now you have full-blown AIDS.
God bless, Mr. President.
This is so weird. This asshole's basically just telling Trump, look, you're... Anybody who got that is basically your immune system's collapsing. So I need you to, before you die, go tell people that they're going to die. This is so stupid. I don't know why Trump doesn't just jump right on this. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck. You always wanted to be like Roy Cohn, and now's your chance. Alex out. Yeah, full on rhino. There you go. All right. Well, we can at least end it with that. I'm gonna have to tweak the system after my show tonight, aren't I, to make sure radio is good tomorrow. Anyways, you guys take care. I will see you guys later on. I got to run downstairs apparently because I'm being tattled on in the chat room. Thanks, Eric, and thanks to everybody for the super chats and the support today. That was really lovely. You guys are wonderful. I got to go grab my bag and my nerd shirt. Hold on. Shit, you guys can just stay here while I do this. Hold on one second. Okay, so I need... what's in here? Let's see. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Got this? Got her? Okay. Alright. My standard Nerd Halen Target shirts. This is the you can't go wrong. It's the Goodfellow stretch work shirt. That's perfect. What I need right there, and then my let's see, got my black jeans. Where'd my black jeans go? There they are. Okay. Tonight, yeah, here we go. I'm wearing these because it's a darker cloak, but these are my black jeans, which pass for work pants. Uh-oh. I feel, what's that? Why are they wet? Hairspray. It's fine. It'll be all right. Oh, I think my moose squeezed down on him. It happens to every person. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And then I got to find my tie is around here somewhere. Hold on. Just getting ready. Getting ready. Oh, yes. Come on, ready, people. And then, of course, I've got to have my glasses, which are going to be in here, and my singing kit, which involves a series of things. That I have, not the least of which is my vocal spray, which is right here. Hold on. Oh, here's my. I got it. I was so so together earlier. And my vocal spray, glasses, fine, and then that's actually drops. In one of the other ones, and I have this propolis spray that I do before, and then here. Where did this guy go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is called Voice 37, and it's they always tell you to put it in water, but I don't. And it basically is like glycerin and a couple other things to protect your throat while you're singing. And that's it. Now I gotta go. All right. That's. I wish my prep was bigger and more convoluted, but it just ain't. Most ain't. So thank you guys. Love you guys. What do you mean, HAL? No. What are you talking about? Okay, I gotta go. All right. Later. Bye. See you in the morning. Yes, I will have the regular radio show in the morning. I'll be doing it from here. So, but we'll be all up and running. We'll be fine. Okay. Much love. My main focus is on I gotta sing in 45 minutes. Okay, bye.